Good morning. I'm Melanie Williams, and I'm the Chair of the Operations and Safety Committee. Welcome to the April 18th, 2022 Operations and Safety Committee. The meeting format is hybrid. Quorum is physically present at the HART Administration Office, 1201 East 7th Avenue, Florida Conference Room, and the rest of the board members are participating via communication media technology. Rules for participation and roles and responsibility of the committee are provided in the packet. The Pledge of Allegiance will be next, and we will look at our screens, and the image of the flag is displayed. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ms. Jackson, will you do a roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am. Director Castor? Director Castor? Director Kemp?
Here.
Director Overman? Director Schisler?
Here.
Chair Williams?
Present. Here.
And also present is Director Knight. You do have a quorum, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Next agenda item is public comment. Is there anyone pre-registered for public comment this morning?
No, Madam Chair.
Thank you. This concludes the public input section of the meeting. We'll move to approval of minutes.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
All right. Staff, will you take the vote by name and announce the result, please? Ms. Jackson.
Director Castor? Director Kemp?
Yes.
Director Overman? Director Schisler?
Yes.
Chair Williams?
Yes.
Motion passed unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jackson. Next, we'll move to our presentations. For Operations and Maintenance Monthly Metrics, Report March 22nd, 2022. Mr. Stephen Fields, thank you. Your manager of Transit Logistics will present a monthly Operations and Maintenance Metrics report, also displayed on the screens. And then we'll move directly to our on-time performance working group, which you will move to Mr. Bobby Edwards. Thank you. We'll take questions after both presentations. Thank you.
Morning, Madam Chair, board members, HART CEO, Mr. Grant. My name is Stephen Fields. I'm here for the monthly matrix report for the Operations, Maintenance, and Safety. Ridership for the March 2022 van was 16,098. Streetcar 107,956. That's up by 17,000. HART Flex 323. Last month we had 191, and bus 828,425,000 with the ridership over 5 million so far that we have moved for the year, physical year. Missed trips. Had a total trips of 45,000 trips, 330, with a completion of 99%. AC mechanical failures has went down. Operation shortage just up a little for that month, and accidents and incidents also up a little. Our on-time performance increased from our last month. As everyone know, our goal is 85%. The standard is 77 across the board. We did February of 78, and we increased that by 2 to 80%. With our peers at 71 from PSCA and from Palmtrain 75. On the March route on-time performance per route, we had 8 out of 32 routes that was below the standard of 77%. And Mr. Edwards and his crew are going to come through and go over the 2 routes that was below that we've been working on with Nelson Nygaard, which is the Route 10 and the Route 14 to maintain that on service. Mr. Edwards.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fields. Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Mr. Grant. At this time, before I get started, I wanted to bring up 2 of the distinguished drivers that participates in this on-time performance work group with us, Ralph Camacho and Crystal Edwards. So basically, when I started 5 months ago, it was under the direction of Ms. LeGrand and Mr. Granville, that we look at systems and ways that we can provide the best customer experience for our customers out there by the way of on-time performance. One of the things we came up with is this on-time performance work group consisting of all the departments that you see above. We had a mixture to increase the synergy between our organization. We took a look at some of our low-performing routes in this group. There's Route 10, there's also the Route 14, are two of the routes that stood out to us. Through that, we looked at traffic patterns, we looked at consistency of time coverages and shortages on 14. On the 10, we looked at possibly increasing running time to 40-minute frequency and decreasing running time. It was the idea of the work group consisting of operators and folks from other departments that we were able to take to Nelson Nygaard, who is our consultants that work with us through scheduling. The operators came up with, and the other employees came up with a lot of solutions for us on those routes. And before I proceed, I want to take a step back and allow Crystal, and then after Crystal, Ralph, to explain what this on-time performance work group has meant for them.
Good morning, board members. My name is Crystal Edwards. I've been with the company almost 18 years. This on-time performance group is an awesome opportunity to allow me to provide feedback as being an operator out there, transporting the patrons. We're able to, make suggestions on how to improve the service in order to get them to where they need to be on time.
Good morning, board. My name is Rafael Camacho. I'll be in HART for 8 years, transit for 46 years, back and forth. But I do the Route 14, and our performance, improve a lot. Before then, it was, the performance was about 30%, and now we're up to 80%, and that's a great achievement. So everyone's doing a great job. We're going back and forth, but I'm telling you, you're doing a good job. Thank you.
Yes, as they stated, as we go into the next slide, we can see the results of a pilot that we ran after we turned over the information to the consultants that's working with us. We wanted to be able to see, did it actually work? And we ran it for a little while. And prior to implementing this pilot, the Route 14 was running at 50%, and the Route 10 was running at 63%. At the conclusion of our pilot program, we saw that the suggestions from the operators and the other employees, the 14 went up to 80.9% from 50, and the 10 went up to 91.4 from 63%, which was a almost 31% increase for 14. And a 28% increase for the 10. As we continue on the 28th of April, Nelson Nygaard's principal, Tim Probans, is coming down with his team to actually sit in on the next on-time performance work group to take suggestions of how we can improve our routes and on-time performance for the next markup and then our system for the September board. And that concludes our presentation. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Fields and Mr. Edwards, for your presentation. We'll take questions. Commissioner Kemp, you're recognized.
I'll just be real fast. Thanks for coming in and just giving those explicit information. That was great, and it's great to see such increases in on-time performance. Thank you.
Councilman Schisler.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks, guys. A good report, and I'm glad to see that they're getting the kids in the buses up here to figure out, how to make it better. We can sit up here and say we can do this and we can do that, but the ones that are out there actually operating, they know the problems the day in and day out. So I'm very glad to see that you're utilizing the staff and the operators to help us to improve the problem areas. Thank you very much. Good presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to just take a moment and echo Councilman Schisler's sentiments as well and commend Raphael and Crystal for their engagement and commitment. That really echoes their commitment, leadership, and so forth, because they are just involved in providing feedback, and it's one thing just to do the job, but it's one thing just to live it, and it's evident that they're doing so. So thank you, and the results speak volumes. So I wanted to personally commend them for their efforts, and thank Mr. Edwards for recognizing the fact that employees actually have the answers and can contribute to the business, and it shows in the bottom line. So thank you both.
Thank you, ma'am.
Madam Chair, may I? I just wanted to share that, as we stated, this is very collaborative. So internally, the team is working, the operators are on the team, a cross-section of the department. But then what we're doing is when we come up with solutions, we then feed them to the consultant for them to now see if we can implement these solutions and if they'll work. And this is, I think, Mr. Raphael said, it's back and forth and back and forth. And it is an iterative process so that we can look at those other 8 routes that are below the 77% and constantly make sure that we're utilizing the resources that we currently have, which are our folks who are on the front line doing the work to help us make improvements. So we hope to be able to come back again and share with you how we're making progress on those other routes that are below the line.
Attendee Alina.
Thank you, Ms. LeGrand. Thank you very much. Thank you both.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any more questions at this time?
We can now hear you. At least I can now hear you. We missed the entire other meeting because there was no audio. But I assume this meeting has started?
Yes, it did start. Okay, we have an echo, so we can ask everyone to go on mute, and we'll
Star
ask.
6, anytime.
Okay.
You're being asked Star 6, any.
Yes, they are online, and we can maybe
Okay.
now hear you.
Okay,
So if you're
okay.
saying anything now, we can't hear you. So,
Can you hear me now?
Thanks for using WebEx at www.com.
yes.
Okay. We started the meeting, and were you able to hear the presentation? Okay. We have, what we will do at this point is to presentations to you via email, and we will take the time going forward to cover the presentations again, and we will, in the next meeting, and we will provide March and April's information and provide an opportunity for questions, and we will ask if the bus operators will have the opportunity to come back again and provide their input for March and April, and if others are involved as well, and we'd love to hear from them again. My apologies for the technicalities, but we will move forward as we have the Finance and Audit Committee that is scheduled at 10:30, and we'll make up for this time at this point. We are now at our old business. Is there any old business? New business? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.